Danny Ainge must have pissed off a few basketball gods, man. They trade for Isaiah Thomas. They break his heart because he put his all into that team, and it seemed like Isaiah and the Celtics were just a match made in heaven. Danny Ainge trades him for the younger Kyrie Irving, who has more time on his contract as well as probably a higher ceiling. I understand why you make the move if you're the Celtics. I made a whole video about it. Selfless plug. But now it seems, what the hell's going to happen? I guess the Celtics, they claim that they were transparent about Isaiah's hip injury. Cleveland claims that he was more hurt than Boston let on. And now we're just in this weird, like, Cold War type of thing where Cleveland wants more stuff. The Celtics are looking to stand packed and not give them more stuff. We're going to have to see what the hell happens, and I just want to dive into the situation. So first and foremost, if we can just talk about Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder. I mean, there's rumors that said Isaiah just has no interest in playing in Boston anymore, and given the type of guy that Jay Crowder is, I'm pretty sure if he finds out that you wanted to trade him, he's not going to be able to put his heart and soul back into the team, and I can kind of understand where they're coming from on that. Like, I understand NBA is a business and all that, but if you ask a guy to come back to your team and give 100% after you try to trade him, that's kind of rough. So hopefully for the Celtics, they just don't have to give up too many assets to get these guys to the Cavaliers, because if this trade was just waived completely, then you'd be kind of in an emergency situation where you either have to try to mend those relationships with Isaiah and Crowder, or you would have to trade them to just somewhere. And at that point, everyone knows that their stocks are super low because they want out. And that would just be a worst case scenario for the Boston Celtics. So they should probably try to get this move done. But if I'm Boston, what am I willing to give up to actually go to the Cavaliers? Well, the trade itself is still Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, I hope that's how his last name is pronounced, and the Nets pick. The Celtics still have quite a few draft picks. They have their own picks moving forward. They have a protected Clippers pick. Lottery protected, I want to say. I would definitely look to give up their own picks first, because even if I'm a little weary of how Kyrie and Hayward and Horford and Marcus Morris and all these guys coming together who have never played together, how it can really work, I do still think the Celtics are going to win a lot of games. So your own pick is probably not that crucial for you to keep. And I actually think the protected Clippers pick might not be that far behind the Celtics one either. Like, yeah, the Clippers are probably going to finish, like, I don't know, with the 6th or 7th seed in the West. That's just what I'm assuming, looking at the top 5 teams. But even then, I mean, they could probably win like 45, 46 games. They're a good team. They got a good roster, you know? So I could picture one of those being moved. Hell, maybe they would agree to just give Cleveland the better of their own pick coming up, or the Clippers pick. Maybe something like that could go down. The one pick that I think you just can't give up is the protected Grizzlies pick, because Memphis won 43 games a season ago, and they have pretty much the same roster coming back. Now, to be fair, Marc Gasol as well as Mike Conley missed, I want to say, around 10 games each, and because those two are so crucial to what Memphis does that, I mean, them even missing 6 or 7 games could be enough to just knock them out of the playoffs. So that could happen again right there, and if Memphis isn't in the playoffs, then there's a chance you could get a really good pick out of it, because that Grizzlies pick is top 9 protected, I want to say. So if it finishes 1 through 8, so top 8 protected, I don't know. If it finishes 1 through 8, the Grizzlies get the pick, is what I'm getting at here. So there's a chance that Memphis could miss the playoffs and end up with like the 11th pick, and that'd be a really good selection if you're the Celtics. So because of that, I really wouldn't want to give that up. But, you know, maybe the Cavs are going to go on the offensive here, and they're going to say, all right, if you're not willing to give us the Clippers pick and your own pick, then we're going to ask for, like, Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Now, I think that's too much to ask for if you're the Cavs, but if they're just petrified of Isaiah Thomas not being, like, anywhere close to where he was this previous season, I don't know, maybe they go crazy. Because when you think about it, like, a big reason why you make this move if you're the Cavs is you say, all right, Isaiah Thomas can be the second big scorer next to LeBron, and if Isaiah can't be that, then you're asking Kevin Love to be that guy, and it's never been a perfect fit with Love in Cleveland. Now, the counter to that could be, well, if Isaiah Thomas is now like a 17-point scorer, then Kevin Love becomes your number 2 guy. You'll give him the ball more often, and maybe he could go into that role pretty easily. But at the same time, it might not work out because it hasn't really since he's got in Cleveland. It'll just be very interesting to see what the hell happens. If I'm the Celtics, I am not trading Jason Tatum. I am not giving them Jaylen Brown. I don't know. We're just going to have to see what happens. What would be interesting is if a third team became involved somehow. I don't really know how, just because like Cleveland, I doubt they don't have many assets to even give up at this point. I'm sure the Celtics want to keep this as simple as possible. I'm just banking on if Cleveland gets really super meticulous and they get really scared that Isaiah Thomas is just not going to be that good for them because of the hip injury, or he'll just miss some time because, I mean, that's a pretty frightening injury, a torn labrum. They say that sort of an injury just really hurts guys, and especially when you're 5'9" and you rely so much on your burst and your verticality to finish through contact at the rim or just draw contact like Isaiah Thomas does. Yeah, I can understand why you're going to be weary. What do I think's going to happen? Gut feeling? I think the Celtics are going to give up either their own pick or the Clippers pick, and then maybe they'll have another pick in the future that has like some protections on it, and it would eventually like develop into a 2 second-round picks or something like that. I think they're going to go the draft pick route. I think they're going to keep the Grizzlies pick, which is pretty valuable, and then that's what we're going to get.